Hello again. In this lesson, we will create simple rectangular column and locate it in our project. I know, you can find simple structural column in the default family in Revit, but let's create this one in the family editor and use this tutorial as an introduction to the family editor environment in Revit. Well, this is the column that we are going to create. The thing that we need to know is its dimensions, so go to Modify tab, and from the Measure panel, click the Align Dimension icon, and start measuring the width and depth of the column. If Revit is highlighting the wrong line, you can hit Tab to toggle between the options, like I'm doing right now. And the column is 760 by 430 mm. So let's go to Family Editor from the project environment. So go to File tab, New, and click Family. And this will take you to the Family Template Browser dialog box. From there, choose a template associated with the family that you are going to create. Let's go down and choose the Structural Column template. And we are at the family editor now. You can notice that in the ribbon it's different from the project environment. And in here you can see you have some constraints and parameters that comes with the template. We have the width and depth parameter and equality constraint that force the two distances to be equal. From the properties panel, let's go to family type and create our column type. And click new to create a new type. Give it a name, something descriptive. Mine will be like 760 by 430. This is only a name, and to reflect the name, let's change the units to 760 by 430, depth 0.43, and width will be 0.76 meter. You can see this reflected in here. Let's add another type quickly to use it for flexing in the model. Let's use maybe, I don't know, 600 by 300, and give it the value of 0.3 and the depth of 0.6. Click Apply, and check out the reference plane flexing. If you go to one of the elevation views, let's go to the front view. And you can see this is one level. In my case, this can be a ground floor. And this is the next level. Our column has to go from floor to floor. So let's start creating the column. Let's go back to the floor plan. And from the Create tab, let's choose Simple Extrusion. And from the Draw panel, choose Rectangle. And check out the Option panel. Well, I don't have a lock icon in here, so let's change our creation method from rectangle to pick line, and this will make the lock icon option available. Check that and click the 4 sides, and this will automatically lock the lines with the reference plane. And to clean that, from the Modify tab, click Trim, and select the lines that you want to left with. Before clicking the green check mark, let's check the extrusion height. We'll go to the Properties panel, and you can see here by default the extrusion begins from 0 and will go up to 0.25 meter. This is okay, we can manipulate it later. So let's hit Finish. And go to the front elevation to change the extrusion height. You have the 4 grabbing icons in here, and use this to grab and increase the height. Attach it to the level and lock it. I also want to lock this part, so move it out and reattach it to the level. Hit Tab until you highlight the level. You can see in here which line that you are highlighting and lock it to the floor level. Let's go to the floor plan again and flex our column. Change it to 600 by 300 and apply it. It's working. And change it back to the other and apply. This is working great. Next, let's assign material parameter to the column. From the properties panel, let's go to material and finish and hit this small icon to the right. And this launches the associated family parameter. Where the parameter is a material, you can see it in here. You can add a new parameter from down here and give it a name, column material. The discipline will be common. The type of parameter will be material, and it will be grouped under materials and finish, and keep the parameter as type parameter. This is because every change that I do later wants to affect all the columns with the same properties. The material is now grayed out because it's assigned. Now let's put it to the project. Hit the Load into Project icon, or this one if you want to load the family editor as well. This will take you to the project environment, so let's go to Architecture or Structure tab. You can access structural column from any of the two. So let's go to Structure, and from the Structure panel, choose Column, and the column that we just created will be available in the Properties panel. And from the Placement panel, you can select the vertical column, because the column that I'm trying to put in the project is vertical. You can set the depth or height of the column. If you want your column to go down from the level that you are in, choose depth. But since I'm in the ground floor, it needs to go up to the first floor. So let me choose height and choose up to the first floor. This will automatically dim out the height value in here. This is because Revit already knows the height of the first floor. And you have an option to create multiple columns here. For me, since I already provide the grids, I can choose add grids. This will create the column at the grid intersection, so select all the grids using crossing selection. The columns are already created, but to finish that you must hit the green check mark, because if I click anywhere now, my selection will get lost. So hit the green check mark. Let's go to 3D view to check out the columns that we created. If you can't find the default 3D view in here, you can go to quick access toolbar over here. These are our columns. Well, I forgot to give an offset to the column to bring the column below the slab. To fix that, let's select one and right click and choose select all instance in. You can select either of the two, visible in view or entire project since I'm in 3D view. And from the properties dialog box, give it a value to top offset, in this case equal to the thickness of the slab, that is negative 0.2 meter, and this will bring all the columns down by 0.2 meter. This is how you create columns in the family editor and put it in the project environment for use. In the next tutorial, I will create the famous fiat beams. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notification for upcoming tutorials. And if you have any question, you can post it in the comment section.